Hi you guys, this assignment was a little bit tricky today for students, so I wanted to just provide you another resource of how to do this so that you can get your 5 questions done. Okay, so the first thing that I need to tell you is that in order to do these particular problems, you're going to need to use the slope formula that we learned in class a couple of days ago. And so in order to use the slope formula, you are going to first label your ordered pairs. So this is the x of the first ordered pair, the y of the first, the x of the second ordered pair, and the y of the second ordered pair. And so if we are going to find r, which is what we're supposed to do, find the missing coordinate r, we are going to plug this information right here into the slope formula, and then we are going to set that equal to our slope, which is 3/4, okay? Because this formula is how we find slope. Okay, so the way that this works is we're going to do r of our second point minus r of our first over x of our second point minus x of our first. Okay, so when I simplify the bottom of this fraction, I get r minus 4 over 12. Okay, now this is slope, and we know that the slope is 3 over 4. So now at this point, what we have is a proportion. We have 2 fractions equal to each other, and in math, whenever you have a proportion, the way that you solve that is to cross multiply. Okay, so the way that this works is I'm going to do 4 times by the r minus 4 equal to 12 times the 3, which is 36, and then I just need to solve this equation for my r. Okay, so I'm going to isolate the r by using inverse operations. So 4 times r equals 52, and then we're going to divide by 4 on both sides, and we get r is equal to 13. Okay, so let's go ahead and try another one of these. So like I said earlier, when you are doing these problems, you're going to have to use the slope formula. We know that this formula is how we get slope, right? And this time they told us our slope is 5, and we want to make slope a fraction, so our slope is 5 over 1. That's how we make 5 a fraction. Okay, now we're going to label our points. This is x1, y1. This is x2, y2. Okay, so we take y of our second ordered pair, we subtract y of our first, over x of our second ordered pair, subtract x of our first. Okay, so on the bottom of our fraction, we end up with r plus 7. And on the top of our fraction, we end up with 10. Okay, and then once we have a proportion, the way that we solve a proportion is to cross multiply. So 1 times 10 is 10. And then we're going to have 5 times by r plus 7, which gives us 5r plus 35 equal to 10. And now we can solve for our r by minusing 35 from both sides. So negative 25 equals 5 times r, and then we divide by 5, and we get that r is equal to negative 5. That's a funky looking 5, isn't it? Okay, so negative 5. Okay, I'm going to do one more. So the process for this is that you first label your ordered pairs, x of the first, y of the first, x of the second, y of the second, and then we use our slope formula, which is y of the second minus y of the first over x of the second minus x of the first. We're going to set that equal to slope. Okay, this is how we find slope. In this case, we know our slope is negative 1. So we're going to replace slope with negative 1 over 1. Okay, and now we're going to have y of our second minus y of our first over x of our second minus x of our first So we end up getting a negative 2 and a negative r over 9. And now we're going to just cross multiply. Okay, so 1 times negative 2 minus r is just negative 2 minus r. And 9 times negative 1 is negative 9. And then remember, this is negative 1 times by r. So if we're isolating the r, if we want to get that by itself, we're first going to add 2 to both sides. So negative 1 times r equals negative 7. Then we divide by negative 1 on both sides, and r equals a positive 7. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. If you need any help with this, come in the morning, stay after school, request end time. I'm happy to help you.